How sick was that intro though? Anyways, Monopoly man, Monopoly. I cannot speak. I've done this intro 3 times already. I'm so tired. Also, my hoodie's a little bit like dirty, and I do have a pimple the size of the Grand Canyon in the middle of my forehead. But like, let's ignore that because this video has to be recorded at a certain point in time, and this certain point in time is right now. So, Monopoly Man, this one was pretty easy to write. I mean, I wrote Monopoly Man like the day of it came out, and a few other animations that may come out at a certain point in time. I don't know, maybe. The whole song's like about capitalism and all that stuff. So like immediately I just thought of like a corporate office. The first thing I did is I just had to make this cubicle and like put in like all of like the general assets that you would find inside the cubicle, like the chair, the computer, a bunch of papers, a lamp, a clock, a phone, this thing. And then after I modeled just this thing, I duplicated everything all around. Basically in Blender, there's like 2 ways to duplicate something. One way is you just duplicate it like Shift D, you press Shift and D and you duplicate it, and it's just like 2 objects. Obviously it's like 1, 2, right? And then there is the second way to duplicate things. I don't know. There's a second way to duplicate things, which is when you duplicate linked. So basically when you duplicate linked, it's like you just make a copy of the same thing. Like stick with me, okay? This makes sense. You make a copy of the same thing, but that copy is basically the same thing, but like it's the same thing in a different way. I swear, I'm trying to explain this. It's like if I have this hand and then I just duplicate it, it's like now I have 2 hands and I can do this, right? But if I duplicate linked, I duplicate the hand, but now I have to move them like at the same time. So like the object data is the same. So it's basically like a complete clone. You know, everything that this hand would do, this hand would also do. Anyways, when you duplicate linked, it's basically it makes it easier on your machine because it's the same object, so it's not as heavy. But even though those were linked copies, they were still a little bit heavy. So what I did is I made these proxies. So basically, if I were to turn this off, this is basically just to guide me where all of the other cubicles are. The duplicates are right here, right? During animating and everything, I had all this off so that everything could run as smoothly as possible. Reference pictures for like the office thing, I think I only like had like a few, honestly, because I mean, I think everybody knows what an office looks like. And yeah, let's start with the animation stuff. The camera just goes in. These words are on the phone. This stuff is like an email that I had to make in another file. Well, I could have made it on this one, but I just made it in another file, and I made this like little email reference picture for this email. I modeled it and I just put it in. This is the Hades logo, and then yeah, there's really nothing much. And basically this just pops out of the screen, and then the screen builds out. So there's 2 screens over here. There's 1 and 2, right? One builds out so that the email can come, and then when the email goes back, it builds back in. But then it goes right back in, just like that. And then the pans over here for the paper stack, this is all just build modifiers. And then this like font, I just added a little bit of bevel to make it look kind of like childlike, because I was also trying to play with like the idea of some of the things look, well, at least some of the writing looks very like childlike, but the setting is very like adult and very like dull and like boring and cold and disgusting and capitalistic and horrible and deteriorating and you know just dark, right? Like the corporate life is. And then camera pans down here. The LOVE builds in as dice because Monopoly is a board game and board games have dice. Also, is it called dice or die? By the way, we need to talk about that because I genuinely don't understand. Like, okay, you know what? See, this is what I'm talking about. I start talking about things that have nothing to do with the animations. Like, nobody cares. Sorry. Then all these pills are supposed to be here because this is morphine. Technically, this is paracetamol. Because, you know, when you're in this corporate lifestyle, things get to you. You start to take certain things to get through the day. I'm not talking about personal experience, me personally. I mean, I am in a bedroom, as we can see. People say that's what it gives. And then these little tokens over here, I got these from Sketchfab, and I just put a normal silver material, just like really metallic and very low roughness. Nothing crazy. Sticky note. The only 2 words from the actual lyrics here are shut up, but I wanted to incorporate that shut up into a sticky note, right? I just decided to have this like idea of, well, you have this coworker who's really annoying and they keep telling you to like shut up, even though whatever. Me trying to make up like a story that makes no sense. They just keep telling you to shut up, right? So like just imagine like some fucking dipshit guy called Mario writes this sticky note and you know the words shut up are there.
Gonna I'ma get the gun.
So, and then there's this dog. I don't know if anybody will actually even notice this. All of like the little people are from XMO. After she says, "Hey, shut up," then there's like a drum. It's like you say, "Shut up," boom. And then at that moment, this boot kicks this little mannequin away, and then it shows up at the other side of the board. I don't know if that will be very visible to people, but you know, it's there, just so you know. Because you know, the people that watch these breakdowns, like, we're tight, right? So you have to know everything that goes down. You say shut up, thing kicks it off to the other side of the board. This is just nothing really. And hold my throat is just at the edge of the board, and the camera moves over there. So, and then this part, what does it say? You say shut up and hold my throat, you throw me across the street. Those words across the street are not there because the camera just goes across the street. You know, I think that's clear. Cross the street, and then we go over here, and then that mannequin that was supposedly on the other place is now over here, right? So like the boot kind of makes sense. And it's not fair, I gave you everything. And then for the paper like notes thing, I found this like PDF that you can download, and you can like write whatever you want on Monopoly notes with the texture already there. So I just took those and I cut them, and I changed like the color a little bit. The color is not exactly the same, but you know, I was also kind of lazy to get them to look exactly the same. It's like also nobody really cares that much. And it's not fair, I gave you everything is like in all these notes, right? I really like to divide all the syllables. Like instead of just having one note that says everything, I like to go, because she says everything. So I like to have one note that says then the other one very, and then the other one thing, right? Because I think that looks better on the eye. I changed a bunch of like the names after. So after I put it up on my render farm, like the file, I made the teaser, which was the teaser, but then I decided to change a bunch of the words because I made this Monopoly board, by the way, link in bio for the CD Trader model. If you want to buy it, whatever, it'll make me really happy, but if you don't want to, I don't care, I guess. Anyways, I made this like a few months ago, maybe even a year ago, for coincidence. This is actually one of the reasons why this was such a quick animation, I guess, because I animated this from start to finish, pretty much 4 or 5 days, because this thing was already done from another animation. And since I can change all of these, I changed them. This is a little bit of an older version, so like the names aren't very much changed in a lot of places, but then after I made the teaser and I changed a bunch of names, I came back to this and I made another version and I changed a lot of these names. But you're breadcrumbing, and then this little guy builds out really quickly. I don't even think you can see it in the camera, but yeah, you can see it a little bit over there. He's just like fading away. See, for example, this, I'm pretty sure I changed this to Vatican Avenue, and then this I changed it to something else. I forgot what that is. Baby or Fifth Ave, and then that's just over there. Penthouse by the beach. Also, this part has no lyrics because in all of like the syllables that she says, like penthouse by the beach. Instead of me just writing lyrics, I just decided to like build these houses in, because I think we all get the point, right? Got so many houses and nobody else can eat. That's just over here on top of the houses in like I think this text glows. Still, you're making more and more than you can spend. It's just like the coins building, like making a trail towards like the money stack where the Monopoly Man is. By the way, I love that character. I love that character. If you watch my videos, you know that this fucking suit character is in like so many animations to this point. More than you can spend in your whole eternity, Monopoly Man. So for that, I didn't add any lyrics. It's just like this guy dancing on top of a money stack. I think it's kind of clear that he's supposed to be the Monopoly Man. And then the camera pans back down to this chance card. What's your desire? I think that makes sense to have it written in the chance card, because it's like the question mark, and then it's a question. So it's like, what's your desire? So when you pinpoint, and then what's your desire? Own the earth and stars. And that's it. This will definitely do not be the last animation from Hades, and the other sets are like much more complicated than this, and they are taking me a lot to model, and you know, but it's gonna look hot at the end, and that's all that matters. Is there anything else? I don't think there's anything else. And that's all she wrote. That was Monopoly Man. I hope you liked it, because I don't know if I liked it yet, because I have not seen it, because it's rendering at the moment, and I will see you in the next video. See, thing is, theoretically, I'm also making an outro, so I don't know what to do right now, because technically, I always do this, and then like the thing comes down, right? But it's like, I don't know what my new outro is gonna be. So do I just like stand here and like not do anything, or like what? This stain is really visible. Oh my god. I don't know. I kind of just like don't want to leave right now. Do you want me to leave, or like? Okay. Yeah. Okay. Anyways.
Let me tell you something.
I'm gonna say one. You want me to say
Go home and get the gun.